I don't know if anyone out there has noticed or not, but I have a pattern of extremism and of being consumed in things like 100,000%. And whenever I start something new, like I jump all in, and I'm just like, oh, let's go. I've been like this. I've had this pattern within me my whole life. Like if something excites me, like I just want to do it, and that is all I want to do. I don't want to do anything else. Like I just want to learn about it. I want to read everything. I want to share everything. Like I'm all in. And I know this about myself. I know that this is something within me that I've learned. I learned it, or it's a generational thing, or a societal thing, or just I don't know. I haven't sat with it long enough to really understand and know truly like where it comes from. But I know. I am aware. So I was sitting here and I was like, okay, I need to get into my scriptures because that is just a very important thing in my life is my scriptures. And I was just thinking, where does it talk in the scriptures about, being extreme in things and like, because I need help. And whenever I need help, I like to go to my scriptures because I want balance in my life. I don't want extremism. I've lived it, and it's very exhausting, and it's just too much. Like no one can sustain that in their life in a healthy way. So I went to my thought took me to Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1. Many of us know this one. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. And I was having a conversation with my chat GPT because I'd like to understand these things about myself. And it says that a lot of times the extremism, like just being consumed in things, like that it may reflect, like this is where sometimes where these things come from. It may reflect a trauma-informed coping strategy. Hyperfocus or intensity can give the nervous system a sense of control, purpose, or identity. Like I can totally see that. Whenever I start something new, it's like I'm so focused on it, and like there is this sense of control, which is also a pattern within me that I have recognized, that I've lived with my whole life, is control. Controlling myself as well, like very controlling with things I put into my body, things that I do. I get into this mindset of control, and I've struggled with like eating like anorexia and those kinds of things, because it's just such a control thing. And so there's that hyperfocus and intensity. It can also give a nervous system high. Your sympathetic energy is activated, and it feels good. It feels good at first to ride that wave. And that I love the highs that come with starting something new and getting involved in it. And it's like a huge wave, and it just feels so good. That is a thing. And then there is a shadow of zeal or devotion. There's a desire to feel connected, worthy, or all in, because half-heartedness feels unsafe and holy. So there is always, I think that we all have that desire to feel connected to other people, and to feel worthy. Absolutely, we all want to feel worthy, and just being all in something, because if we're not putting our all into it, then what's the point? That's a thing within the mind with this being extreme with things and being all consumed with things. It's like I have to do it all now. I want it all right now. And that's where God's time comes in. That's where, like, I'm recognizing that God opens many doors for us. And I have a pattern within me of sprinting. Like, He opens that door and I run through it as fast as I can, as hard as I can. I give it everything, all of me, and I sprint as hard and as long as I can, and then I crash and I burn and I get exhausted, and then I'm like, all the pieces of everything in my life is falling apart because I do that over and over and over and over again. So I am learning. I'm in a process of learning and seeing these things about myself. And I've just started something new, and it is fun, and I'm loving it. I'm loving the benefits that I'm feeling within my body. Like, as my body and my mind are feeling better, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can climb mountains. I feel like I could do anything. But I also have the understanding and the recognition of my patterns and the awareness. And so, I don't want to continue. I feel as though God opens doors for me and brings me to these places where I can see these patterns within myself. And then it's like, hey, now what am I going to do with that? I don't have to run so hard. Like, why do I feel like I have to get to the finish line whenever there's no finish line? It's just a new door opening for me to step through for my health and my wellness, and to help my body to become strengthened and to just feel better, to have more energy. And like, I feel it, that God is opening this door for me and showing me and helping me. And so, and He's giving me another opportunity to recognize and to do it differently this time. I love showing up. I love sharing. I love, especially whenever I find something that's good, whenever I find a scripture, whenever I find something that's working for me, that is healing me and helping me in my life, I just want to share it. And so that's why I like these products that I'm trying, and I'm like, I love challenges. I love challenges and seeing what they do for me, and I love sharing them. Like, I've done a challenge before with meditation and with fasting, and these things are so good, and I love sharing goodness. And I've watched other women who have been using these ULA products, and I'm just like, that just looks good. It feels good, it sounds good, it tastes good, like, and metaphor, like, and I'm not saying like truly like the actual items true taste. I mean, I'm just like, just that fruit of the spirit, it just is like a good fruit. And so, but I don't have to sit there and gorge on it. That's the thing. And I recognize that it is a pattern within me. But I see it and I recognize it, and I'm very aware. My chat girl, I say she because I've given it it's just but it says that I'm longing for devotion without depletion, commitment without compulsion, because I've got that OCD. Like, I don't. There's a pattern within me that is compulsive, and I don't have to be that way today. I just don't. I can make different choices. Um, and then excitement without exhaustion. Like, we can be excited about things and be all in it without being exhausted from it, because there is also another pattern within me that is just like the codependency. Like, my mind gets pulled into just one thing. Like, whenever I get excited about something, that's all I think about. That's all I want to do. And then what happens is, if anybody around me is interrupting that, or like they want my attention, or I got to do something else for other people, then it's like I'll get an irritability within me, because I'm trying to control things. I'm trying to make them what I want them to be. And that is compulsion. That is addiction. That control. It is control. Instead of opening up and surrendering and letting God lead the way, and sharing in that kind of way. And I recognize it. I know. I'm living it. I'm doing it. So, but it's just fun, and it feels good, and yeah, it is a pattern. I'm so grateful to be able to see these things about myself and want to do something different. I'm like, okay, I need to be in my scriptures today for a little while, and because I've shifted my entire morning routine this week by starting these supplements a certain way. That's totally shifted things. And I started walking with my husband in the morning and at night. We've been doing that for a while, but we started walking in the morning to get vitamin D and to just get going with our day. So and we'll make breakfast, and stuff. And so just, it's a lot of change and a lot of stuff, and all at once, and it is exciting, and it's all just really good. It's just learning to flow with the balance and not get so consumed in one area. And so the questions to ask ourselves is this from God or from a wound? Am I doing this because I feel like God is moving this for me, or am I doing it from a wound? Am I wanting, that excitement? And am I wanting that connection? Am I liking that intensity and that control? Yes, absolutely. Those are all wounds. And God, I feel like it is also God, like bringing things into my life to improve me and to help me. Is this expanding me or consuming me? It has been doing both. And it's like, well, how can it do both? But I see that it is expanding me because I'm aware. I'm seeing things. I'm recognizing things. I'm recognizing where it's consuming me. And I see it very clearly. And so in that recognition, in that awareness, I am expanding. It is expanding me and helping me to see that I don't have to be consumed. That I can do and be in my life in a balanced way and share from that kind of space. Otherwise, it's like, it's so much, And I know that, like, I can be a lot sometimes whenever I get really into stuff. Like, I know that. Especially because I have many layers. I have many things that I share about. Like, I'm the type of content creator out here that just, I'm sharing all sorts of stuff. I'm just sharing life. Some people get in like niches, And it's like, that is what they share. But I'm like, I don't have that. So it's like whenever I latch on to like one thing, it's like you could see how it becomes very consuming to me. It's an obvious thing. And so, because that is all that I'll share about and post about and put up there, whereas I have a lot of stuff that I share about. And so whenever you see me get consumed, you know it, like you could tell. And then the last one is, what does steady devotion look like, and not just initial passion? That's something to think about. It's like, we're not in this sprint, we're not in this fast race that like we have to get to this certain point. It's like, yeah, we may have goals that we set that we want to reach at certain intervals to keep us focused in a certain direction. And so it'll kind of give us that little added what we need to keep us moving. But it's like, it can become all consuming if that is it. We need many different lanes. Like, we have many different lanes in our life. And whenever we're just running down one lane and consumed completely by that one lane, that's where the exhaustion, the fatigue, that is where we collapse, because we're not taking care of, our spirit whenever we're only taking care of our body. We're not taking care of our body whenever we're just taking care of our mind, and so it is a balance. And it's just learning to, throughout the day, to spend time on each of those things. Take time for our body, to exercise, to eat well, to just move, just taking care of our physical body, and taking care of our mind, just learning things, taking supplements that help us, or medications, whatever, getting sunlight, getting in nature, like all of that stuff helps our mind and our emotions. It helps our nervous system to regulate. And then our spirit, like, we have to feed our spirit with those things that are spirit. And that is being in meditation, being in prayer, being in scriptures, being in nature, being in temples and churches and wherever you are filled with spirit, being in community, because you could feel other people's spirit. So all these different aspects are just so important for us to have balance in our lives. And I'm so grateful that I really, truly do have it in my life. And whenever I get really drawn, like sucked, pulled into these patterns and these behaviors that are within me, I just am so aware of it. And, it's been a few days. It's been like 4 days that I've been very consumed in just sharing about this new product and this supplement and this challenge and just this whole experience, because it's exciting to me and I love it and it's fun and I just love sharing that kind of stuff. But whenever that's all I'm doing, I can see that I've allowed a pattern to come up and to run things, and not God. And that is where, I had to take some time to get into my scriptures and to get back into my center, where I can hear Him more clearly and get out of my own thoughts and what I want to do and how I want it to be, and the control and just all of that. So I hope this helps someone out there, because I'm not the only one like this. I'm not. I think that most people are like this, because we find things that we love, and it gives us that sense of purpose. It gives us that identity. It gives us like these boosts of dopamine, and it just feels good. but then we hit that mountaintop and then we crash. And so it's just learning how to step into doors and not take off sprinting, but to just walk through it, and slowly if we need to. I mean, however it is for each of us individually. But I just see that it's not a sprint, because what is the hurry? What is time? Truly. We only have so many hours in our day to accomplish things. And it's like, where are we spending our time and our energy? What is our focus? And mine, I want mine to be God. I want mine to be whatever the Spirit brings into my life that is my day, And I've learned, I'm learning this time and time again. I've learned that it's not about what's happening. It's not about, it's how we're showing up to what is happening. Because all of our lives, it's like the details, the little details of our lives are different, but how we respond to them, how we are in them is so similar, because we all have like the same emotions, the same feelings, the same, just the way that we experience things, so similar. But it's, how am I showing up to these things in my life? Am I showing up irritated because I'm trying to control things? Or am I showing up with love and with patience and with grace and just having the fruits of the Spirit, which is just that peace and that joy in everything that we do? So I am learning. I am definitely a work in progress, and I'm so grateful for how far I have come in being able to see these things, because I've gone all head first into so many pools, and I sprint, and there's just no reason to. And so God is opening doors for me to walk through and to learn new ways, and I'm just so grateful for that. And thank you for being here with me. If you are, I really appreciate it. And if you've ever experienced this yourself, I would love to hear about it. And until the next time.